Hello everyone and welcome back to Turkish Spotlight Secrets. If you're new here, this is the channel where we go beyond rumor and bring you clear, structured stories about Turkey's brightest stars. Please like this video, subscribe and tap join to support more deep dive content. Today we are opening the doors quietly and respectfully, and the wedding everyone has been whispering about. Yağmur Yüksel and Barış backed us. This is not a fairy tale made of hashtags. It's a sequence of real choices that turned a private commitment into an unforgettable celebration. We'll walk through the plan, the venue, the guest list, the vows, the security measures, the social media shockwave. And what comes next for the couple and for Ken Kikeleri. Let's begin. 1. The decision. From long game to green light. Friends of the couple say the idea of marriage did not arrive with fireworks. It arrived over many steady months of filming, rehearsals, and quiet evenings after wrap. When schedules finally relaxed and a run of back-to-back episodes was locked, Barış and Yağmur agreed on a principle. The wedding would reflect who they are at work, well prepared, unshowy, and disciplined. That meant a tight guest list, a single weekend window, and a plan designed to keep attention on the moment rather than the cameras. A small planning team formed. A trusted producer handled logistics, a family friend coordinated vendors, and a stylist known for minimal modern lines shaped the look. The couple settled on a simple theme, summer night, Istanbul, and a rule that guided every choice. Nothing should feel staged for social media. If a detail didn't feel like them, it didn't make the cut. 2. The venue. A view only locals. No. While tabloids guessed at palaces and parks, the couple went in the opposite direction. A restored waterside building on the Bosphorus, just far enough from traffic to keep sound down and privacy up. The courtyard had three things. They loved quiet stone underfoot, soft bistro lighting, and a line of plane trees that break the wind. No neon, no giant initials, no drone runway. Vendors signed basic non-disclosure agreements not to create mystery, but to ensure the night belonged to the people present. Seating was in the round, so no table felt secondary. A compact stage allowed short speeches and a single-string quartet to carry the first hour. Florals were intentionally restrained, white blooms with a few green touches chosen to frame conversations instead of competing with them. The effect was warm and human. 3. The guest list. Short, thoughtful, balanced. The list was capped early and remained capped. Immediate family, a handful of longtime friends, and a few colleagues who have stood with Yağmur and Barış through hard days as well as good. Fans hoping for a parade of celebrities would have been disappointed, and that was the point. This was not an industry showcase. It was a commitment ceremony. Phones were not banned, but guests were asked to avoid posting in real time. That single request protected the first hours of the event from the outside world and allowed the couple to actually speak to each person without the pressure of a live feed. 4. The looks. Elegance without excess. Yağmur chose a dress that made sense for hurtling lines, light fabric, and movement that kept pace with conversation and dancing. There were no sequined trains to manage, no corset that demanded half an hour of adjustments. Her hair was pulled back to bring attention to her eyes and to keep her comfortable in the evening breeze. Barış wore a classic black suit, tailored close without any loud trends. Pocket square, no tie, polished shoes. The photos later proved what guests felt in the moment. Understatement reads as confidence. 5. The ceremony. Short words, long meaning. The officiant spoke briefly. Two friends read short pieces. The couple had picked one about patience, one about kindness. No theatrics. Then came the vows. Barış promised to protect the everyday coffee before call time, silent car rides when lines need to settle, honesty when work gets loud. Yağmur promised to leave room for rest, to remind him to celebrate small wins, and to keep their home a place where they can laugh without an audience. Rings were simple bands engraved inside with the date and a line only they know. Applause came fast, not because a cue demanded it, but because it was impossible to hold back. 6. The dinner, made for talking, not posing. The menu avoided heavy courses. Mezzas arrived family style, then fish and seasonal vegetables, then a light dessert. Everything was chosen so guests could talk without fighting through complicated plating. Music stayed acoustic until later. Nobody had to shout over it. At one point, Yağmur stood to thank both families for building trust across busy months. Barış added a story about the first time he realized she would say yes to this kind of night. They had both remembered a crew member's birthday unprompted and showed up with the same cake. The laugh was real. 7. The first dance and the song that fit. They chose a classic Turkish love song for the first dance. Not because it was trending, but because both of them knew the words by heart from long before they ever met. The dance was unchoreographed on purpose. It looked like two people at home in a living room. When the quartet shifted to livelier pieces, the floor filled quickly. The couple stayed on the floor, not at a dais. This is how you build a memory that feels lived in rather than staged. 8. Security and privacy. Quiet, not aggressive. Security stood back. Their job was to keep distance, not create a spectacle. A few curious eyes watched from a distant promenade. Respectful waves were returned. A single uninvited drone tried to hover, but drifted away when it found no angle worth selling. Later, when a few images did appear online, they were soft and from afar silhouettes and lanterns. The couple said nothing publicly that night and didn't need to. The silence was its own protection. 9. The surprise moment. A donation in lieu of favors. Instead of costly souvenirs, Yağmur and Barış had arranged a simple card at each place setting, in the joy of tonight. We funded emergency classroom kits for schools that need them. The room responded the way you hope a room will respond. Quiet nods, a few damp eyes, and a ripple of respect. A wedding can celebrate to people without forgetting the city that raised them. 10. The social media morning after. By sunrise, the internet had caught a scent. A distant photo here, a flower arrangement there. A comment from a neighbor who had heard soft music across the water. Within hours, headlines bloomed. Some outlets wrote with care, others with guesswork. The couple did not confirm or deny anything immediately. When a statement did arrive, it was a single paragraph. We gathered with our families and close friends to begin our married life. We thank everyone for their kind wishes and ask for the same privacy you have generously given us until now. Short, clear, final. Fans responded with warmth. The loudest messages were also the simplest. Be happy. Protect your peace. We're with you. A smaller chorus asked for dress credits and song titles. Those answers can come later. 11. Career ripples and can kick a Larry. Will this change the show? Not in the way gossips imagine. Scripts were already locked for upcoming episodes. Writers did not pivot to cash in. They kept story and reality separate. What might change is the way the audience watches. Viewers who already love Dilan and Baron's on screen. Bond may now watch with a little more softness. That is not a marketing plan. It's a human reaction. Brand offers will arrive. The smart response is the one the couple has already practiced. Say yes only to projects that reflect their values and give them time to breathe. A wedding is not a campaign. It's a starting line. 12. What comes next? People are whispering honeymoon. But friends say the real plan is simpler. A few calm days away from the city, then back to work with a stronger routine. Commitments remain, sets will call, and life will resume. Marriage is not a spotlight, it is a structure. The couple has already shown they can build structures that last. Final thoughts. If you came for spectacle, the truth may feel modest. But modest is the point. Yağmur Yüksel and Barış Bakdez didn't try to impress the internet. They tried to honor each other. They chose clarity over noise, warmth over display, and a celebration that felt like them. That is why the night worked, and why the story will hold. What do you think? Should public figures keep moments like this completely offline, or can a small, respectful peek satisfy curiosity without turning love into content? Would you have preferred a larger, televised event? Or does the tight personal format feel right? Tell me in the comments. If this breakdown helped you see the full arc behind the headlines, please like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss a story from Turkish Spotlight Secrets. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Take care and goodbye.